Well, joining us on set is Sultan Barakat. He's a professor of public policy at Hamad bin Khalifa University. Very good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Hamda, they're outlining what, in many ways, there was a lot of expectation in the early stages of this announcement, in that the cracks are already beginning to show, or at the very least, there appears to be a difference between what is listed in the 20-point plan and what the understanding might be from Israel, at least. Hamas, as we understand, is already having a look at this, but we have yet to hear from them about what their stance on this. In terms of the 20-point plan that you've seen, is there anything there to convince the people of Gaza that this is actually being done for their benefit?
Not really. I was one of the few who, until I listened to Trump and Netanyahu, genuinely believed that there is a real hope. And this is the moment where things are going to turn around. But listening to Trump, the way he presented the plan, and in particular the way he mocked the Arab and Islamic leaders by referring back to what he did when he moved the embassy to Jerusalem, made me understand that he wasn't really listening to what the Arab and Islamic Muslim leaders have said to him. I don't think they would have understood it as he presented it either. Then he stood there and he allowed Netanyahu to contradict the plan by saying things that are clearly said to make them match his own narrow objectives that he has been working on for the last couple of years. And Trump did not stop him. He did not interrupt him to explain what we just heard now, that, no, there is a Palestinian state at the end of the tunnel. No, there is going to be total withdrawal of Israeli forces to the 1967 border, etc. That makes me think this is problematic. It's not going to fly. I think Hamas would be very ill-advised to accept, on the basis of what we heard and what they would have heard, the plan as it is. What is needed is to work into these 20 points. There were 21, you remember, until they spoke. The one is the only one that has been implemented. That was the Qatari apology. And that, I think, is now we can take for sure and guaranteed, and they will never attempt a similar attack on Qatar, and they respect the sovereignty and so on. The 20 points themselves, every single one of them is problematic. The idea of you demand from Hamas to release all the hostages from day one means that they will give up all the leverage. There's nothing left much with them, but they will have to give up all the leverage to a party that they don't trust and no one in the world trusts. I mean, now the majority of the states around the globe have come out to express their distrust with Israel. The party is not known for being able to commit and to follow progress. And of course, it cannot be guaranteed by the US, as we saw yesterday, and as we saw when they bombed Doha. So that in itself is problematic. The idea of governance, it is possible, and we have heard from Hamas that they don't have any interest in being part of the governing body over Gaza. But you cannot extract the ideology out. What Netanyahu was talking about, he wanted to reprogram the people to love Israel. He wanted the PA to work on the education, etc. This is going to be impossible in the aftermath of the genocide. I mean, now there's a whole new generation that's going to pick up arms, probably nothing to do with Hamas. And any international army getting squeezed in the middle now, particularly I think a Muslim state, will come to regret this, because they will end up having to do the dirty work of Israel, of disarming individuals, without really having the backing of the Palestinians and even the international community for this.
I want to pick up on one particular point, that the line that Palestinians would not be forced to leave Gaza. Those who wish to go will be free to do so and free to return. Now, this appears to be the complete antithesis of what we've been hearing, particularly from Benjamin Netanyahu and his coalition for the duration of this war. It's certainly the suggestion that Palestinians will be forced from Gaza has been an assumption that's been made by many analysts that we've been speaking to over the last couple of years. Why do you think that Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, would agree to a line like that when he's been saying exactly the opposite for the last
because
2
he
years?
destroyed Gaza. There's nothing to live in Gaza for. They've finished everything. There's no infrastructure, there's no housing, etc. The moment you open the possibility for people to move out of Gaza, i.e. you open the borders, the Americans are still talking to their allies and their friends, the few that are remaining, to take some Palestinian refugees. People will choose the sensible thing, and that is really to move out. Now, this has been happening already. You know, more than 200,000 Palestinians have moved into Egypt already. And every single one of them, as they leave, they sign paperwork that commits them not to return within 15 years, aside from the money that cost them to get out. This is voluntary displacement. Well, it's not quite voluntary, but it is designed for them to make a choice for life outside. Now, they understand that the mess they've created will take years to put it right. And even with all goodwill, it will be impossible for Palestinians really to choose to stay, except for those who are most desperate, who cannot make the move out, or those who are really, really most committed to the cause. And those most committed to the cause will certainly organize themselves to be able to resist injustice that's now imposed on them by this plan.
It's good to get your thoughts on this, Sultan Barakat. We appreciate it as always. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well,